Hey guys, Reuben Williams here, founder of SportsGrad. Back in the day, I landed a job at Cricket Australia on the Monday after my final university exam. And then 3 years later, when COVID hit and my job was made redundant, rather than looking for work for months on end, I was headhunted into a role that doubled my salary. I'm not telling you this to brag, I'm telling you because there is a method to it. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. For example, Lucas Viana, one of our members, called the SportsGrad method a cheat code, and another member, Sasha Brahim, she called it magic. And honestly, I'll take that. Now, most people spend years trying to break into sport and never figure out why it is not working. And so the reason that this podcast exists is to change that. Every week, I'm going to share some real moments from real coaching calls that are unfiltered, unscripted, so you get a taste for the kind of work that has helped people land over 800 roles in sport and counting. If you're ready to stop guessing and start moving in the right direction and go after the career that you've always wanted, apply for the SportsGrad Method program at sportsgrad.com.au. Now, let's get into it. So, this is how you guys can use it for whatever you're thinking about. And we're going to use a bit of as an example, we're going to use an opportunity that came up literally yesterday, I think it was, with the Sports Tech World Series Sports Innovation Week. Did anyone see that posted on school? If you were to approach Andrew, so Andrew Walton, Managing Director, he is the kind of person where he's very open to ideas. And if you bring a good idea to him, you show him how you can solve a problem, he will create something for you. And so that's where, if we go into step one of the opportunity to offer system, the first step is basically find a place where you can have a playing field to do this sort of things. And so that's where, places that have low barrier to entry are a great place to start. So startups, for example, very flexible. Like if you can tell them, hey, I can help, you'll probably get in. Local sporting clubs, your current workplace might be a very easy place, or you might want to start something from scratch. A couple of people are doing that. And even off the back of Tom Blazek's LinkedIn series, he was like, I might start my own sort of athlete wellbeing consulting stuff. So we started chatting about that next. But Andrew definitely kind of fits into this category of like a low barrier to entry business who just needs more hands and help doing what they're doing, throwing the conference. So the first thing that you want to do is put yourself in their shoes. And this kind of goes back to that networker document that we talked about when you catch up and networking with someone. First, ask yourself, like, what is their goal? So before you're having a chat with Andrew, and maybe you set up a chat to kind of answer these questions as well, but you also might want to guess them as well. If we're thinking about the Sports Tech World Series conference, their goal is probably a couple of different things. Number one, attendance. Say, for example, they want to have 1,000 people at the MCG. You might think about, well, how are they currently selling tickets? Right. Well, they've got their website, they've got their marketing channels, they've got their email database, they've got their word of mouth. It's just about it from what I can see. If you know that their goal is to grow attendance, you might want to think about how can I get creative and help that. Another one of their goals, I'm guessing, is going to be like NPS, Net Promoter Score, basically, satisfaction. How satisfied were people attending the conference and they had a good time? So things that go into the satisfaction of the event can be, did the operations all run smoothly? Was Andrew allowed time to kind of do the important things? Were there no gaps missing? To figure out if that is a problem, you might want to go to Andrew and be like, hey, how can I help bring the smoothness of this event to life? So if we simply kind of focus on the goal of this event being, all right, money made or attendance for the conference and overall satisfaction of the guests, that's a reasonable starting point to figure out where can you insert yourself. So then you want to move on to thinking about all right, well, what isn't being achieved? So that's where say you set up time with Andrew and say, hey, I'd love to inquire about this event and get involved. One of your questions might be like, look, Andrew, where are you at in the moment in terms of delivering this event? And is there anything that's kind of falling short that I could pick up the pieces? So maybe, and that's when he might reveal oh, look, we're actually a bit below on attendance. If you can go out and somehow drum up some support, that'd be great. Uh, or if, he's like, you know what, I just like would love to be able to sell more sponsorship into this event. Maybe that gives you another opportunity. Or maybe he tells you like, look, I'm trying to juggle, 7 different vendors at once. I'm dealing with the MCC, I'm dealing with Delaware North, and dealing with all these, different speakers as well. Trying to coordinate times and whatnot. That also kind of shows you where some opportunities might be. For example, you could be like, hey, I'll be the liaison between the MCC, Delaware North, and any speakers you come in. That might be an amazing way to grow your network as well. If you say, hey, Andrew, like, do you want me to be the speaker liaison on the day, for example? But you don't know where these opportunities lie unless you start to find out how is Andrew spending his time. And that's when we go into how can you pitch yourself as the solution? So, whether it is, on social media and you see that they're not doing anything, and you're like, hey, I can actually do an amazing job of this. Like, give me the logins and I'll take from there. Or you're like, hey, I can see that you have got an entire category of sponsorship that isn't being used at the moment, or you've got all these different kind of assets to sell that you're not selling at the moment. Let me take it from here. Or, hey, look, everything you've just explained to me is an operational mess. I can see it's not laid out. Like, let me project manage this for you. That is where you can insert yourself as a solution and create an opportunity for you. So very simply, those are the kind of 3 steps to how you can create an offer for yourself. All right, guys, that is all for today. I hope you enjoyed that and got something out of it. If you want to learn directly from me and our other SportsGrad coaches who are working directly in the industry, then jump into the SportsGrad Method program. Once you're inside, you'll also get access to the entire SportsGrad Method curriculum that comes with a 90-day roadmap, so you know exactly what to do next. There is a step-by-step system to this. You do not have to think of what to do. We have thought of it all for you. Plus, you can tap into the SportsGrad network and get introductions to the people that might be hard to meet for you at the moment. Plus, you'll be surrounded by the wonderful SportsGrad community who are all helping each other get closer to their goals as well. So the results speak for themselves. Have a look at the website if you want to check it all out, but we'd love to see you inside and receive your application. See ya.